Weekly, GarageBand, GarageBand Weekly, GarageBand Weekly. If you need an answer to your question, John, you'll have a suggestion. GarageBand Weekly, GarageBand Weekly, GarageBand Weekly. If you need an answer to your question, John, you'll have a suggestion. Who's a fountain of all knowledge? I think he might have gone to GarageBand College. What he doesn't know, we'll try and find out. So join the chat and give him a shout. Pete John's, Pete John's, GarageBand Weekly.
Yes, it's GarageBand Weekly. The show's so cool, we play the intro twice, or at least 1.5 times. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Pete Johns. On this week's GarageBand Weekly, we'll be doing some melody recording, some arranging in GarageBand. So if you've not used GarageBand a heap and you want to write a song in GarageBand, I'm collaborating with David Asher at the moment. We did some work on this project last week. We're going to continue working on it this week. So strap yourself in for that one. We've got some news and notes to get through before we start on that one as well. So welcome aboard. Hello. If you would like to find out all about the things in GarageBand that you can do, there's one place where I'd recommend you go, and that is to my GarageBand FAQ. You can get there at studiolivetoday.com/GarageBand, and over there you'll find an invitation to join the mailing list to start with, and you'll find all of the information I have, all of the playlists, all of the free videos, and all of my frequently asked questions, everything from 24-bit audio to, what's the last one? Zip files. There you go. we start at 2 and we go all the way through to Z or Z if you prefer. So you can jump on over there and check that one out. We'll say good day to the folks who are here live, and then we'll dive into some news and notes. Hello to the Semtex Cow. Good day to Jade Star. Hello, Mark Bro. There's a Crow on a Wire and Thomas Christ. Become a channel member. Yeah, why not? You can do that. You can get some cool stuff if you do that. Thank you all for being here. Al Davis Music is here as well. Yeah, happy Easter. Happy April Fool's Day. I'm feeling quite the fool, or at least that's what it feels like with some of the technical issues, and not to mention the personal brain issues going on here at the moment. Yeah, do you have those moments where you got the yips, where just everything you kind of do or touch turns to not quite go exactly to plan? Well, that's where I am at the moment. The last 3 or 4 days, I've just been in that sort of zone. So I'm warning you up front that it's a good thing, but a bad thing. Like it means that anything could happen in this show, and probably will. I'm just going to check my audio levels. They seem okay over there. Yeah, because I'm having a few challenges with mixers, with my Mac, with a whole bunch of stuff. I came out of the show yesterday, which had a few little hiccups. Go watch the show if you missed out on that one. And I said, like my wife said, how'd your show go? And I said, really well, then terrible, then really well. And she's like, well, I'm like, yeah, it was a roller coaster ride. It was everywhere. But you know what? I'm proud of the fact that I pushed through, that I didn't get my knickers in a twist, and we just carried on, because unfortunately, when it comes to technology, you just have to do that. The opposite of crying is of laughing is crying. Hello, Kahalo. I hope you are doing well. G'day, Bob Stewart, and we've got Joe, Glenn, maybe Barry. You never know. There he is, snuck in. G'day, Barry, Glenn. News and notes. Thought I'd start with something fun, just because in the past couple of years, over the pandemic times, I haven't done it for a couple of years because, I don't know, there's something these days, I think they've kind of been played out, but I have done some little April Fool's things that are related to GarageBand the last few years, so I thought I'd show you a couple of those in case you missed them at the time. The first one I did in 2021, and that was this. I unveiled this, the brand new GarageBand for CarPlay, that I thought I was pretty funny with. And yeah, a few people thought that was a real thing. Of course it wasn't. So we unfortunately, and this is the thing about these sort of things. I kind of feel a bit bad these days, so that's why I don't do them anymore, because I don't really want to trick people. It's not really that funny if people are like, "Wow!" Plus, with all the BS about AI these days, we're probably going to get all these things. They're not going to be funny for very much longer because they're probably just going to exist. And then a year later, we did this one, which was I thought was the funniest one, which was GarageBand for the Apple Watch. Which again, I'm not going to discount the fact that we may get GarageBand for the Apple Watch at some stage in the future. So I think it's less funny these days. But yes, as you can see by the comments on there, what day is it again? Yeah, I think people are on the lookout for things like that when you push the envelope on April Fool's Day. But yeah, hopefully you haven't fallen for any April Fool's pranks. Although, funnily enough, as someone who likes Pokemon Go, apparently the first release of that was like an April Fool's thing, where they're like, we've integrated Google Maps with Pokemon, and now you can walk in the real world and catch Pokemon. And then they made the game like a year later. Someone went, that's actually a really good idea. And then they did. Yeah, exactly. I'm a fool every day. It's true. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, look, I always say I think it's more important how you get back up on that horse, the resilience, as opposed to how you go when everything goes right, because it's not always going to go right. I know April Fool's, Monday, public holiday here. Yeah, didn't come together this year. So, and I've run out of devices to put it on. So. To test out my very terrible photoshopping skills there. So yeah, that was that. The other thing I wanted to point out is that we missed it, but on the 31st of March, you might have been celebrating really hard, even though it was also Easter Sunday. It was also World Backup Day. So can I just throw it out there, please? As someone who's going through all sorts of computer and technical issues, the one thing I know I don't have to worry about is that all my schnizzle is backed up on iCloud Drive, Google Drive, Dropbox, USB hard drives. Wherever you back stuff up, please back up. This is not an April Fool's. This is not a joke. I get an email almost every single week. Like, there's very few weeks that go by that I don't get an email from someone who's lost something. And when it comes to GarageBand, it's usually because they've saved their GarageBand projects just to their device, and then they update their iOS, they update to a new phone or a new tablet, their phone goes for a swim in the toilet, whatever it is, and then they're like, John's file's gone, can you help me get them back? And I'm like, sure, just go to your iCloud Drive backup. Oh, you don't have one, do you? So please, for the love of your deity of choice, please go and back up your stuff, especially your important music stuff, because you're not going to be able to recreate it exactly as it was. And look, and if it does happen, it has happened to all of us. If you do lose some stuff, just do it again. It might be different, might be better. You don't know. So don't spend too much time crying into your cornflakes over it. But please, just do that. Just go in with it. Bob says, I've got your problem, Pete. M1 Mac and no memory. Thought I would save you money. Yeah, I know. And look, because I bought my first Mac just as a bit of here's what I thought. Here's my honest opinion. So for those that don't know, I bought the M1 Mac Mini with 8 gig of RAM and 256 gig of storage. And I really only bought it because I've never used a Mac before, and it was like $1,000. And I thought, I'll buy it, I'll try it, and I'll either return it to Apple within 2 weeks, or if I keep it for, say, a few months, I'll sell it and probably get, $700 back for it. So I really didn't think that I would make the move to Apple. Turned out I really loved Apple, and it really worked well for my workflow and everything, and I wanted to keep it. But yeah, I regret, every single day I regret that I didn't spend the extra $500-$600 and get 16 gig of memory and at least 12 gigabytes of storage. So now I spend all of my time yelling at people, saying, not yelling, but politely yet assertively advising, just don't buy a Mac unless it's got at least, especially the storage. Weirdly enough, the RAM's not a problem, but the way Apple manages its storage, to the point where I deleted 30 gigabytes. I just dropped off a whole bunch of apps and files and things, but the way Apple manages storage, and I know I can change this, which I need to work out how to do, but it just fills it back up. Like, it's just that I've got like 89 gigabytes of system files now, so I need to work out how to manage my files a bit better. I think I did GarageBand for Windows really early on. I think I showed a Windows laptop with GarageBand running it really early on. But then, see, the reason that I don't like that is that then I get all the trolls that are like, but you can run a virtual machine. I've run GarageBand on my PC. And it's like, yeah, but have you tried connecting a USB audio device? If you tried actually making music, there's a difference between being able to and wanting to, being actually able to use it on there as well. Yes, exactly. At least 500 gigabytes if you want to do video editing. I deleted LumaFusion. And the ironic thing is that my iPad is an M2 with 16 gig of RAM and a terabyte of storage. So, yeah. So I could run Mac OS Sonoma much better on my iPad than I ever could on on my Mac. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, look, I read a couple of articles and there's all sorts of weird. It's a bit like the Windows registry where you have to go in and get all professional and hack your way through. So yeah, it's tough. Well, yeah, look, there's trolls and people that think they know it. What is it? The Dunning-Kruger effect. People that think they're smarter than the rest of us and like to tell us that they're smarter than the rest of us, but really not. Don't feed the trolls, and don't let people that are not that don't know what they're talking about worry you. Because remember, people on the internet are going to hide behind the internet and say a lot of things. All right, let's move on. Oh, one final little news and note that I wanted to throw your way, and that is that YML, Your Music Live, episode 199, yes, we're only up to 200, that is happening one day later next week, and the timing's all different. Just check your local guides. Make sure you're on the mailing list. Make sure you've joined the Studio Live Today mailing list. Follow me on the Instagrams or the Facebooks, or if you're a patron, you'll get the emails. I do tell you in a bunch of different places, but just early warning. Yes, it'll be a day late next week. Got some stuff going on the weekend, and I wanted to make sure that we can have a good show there. And then, yeah, episode 200 the next week. Can you believe it? Psycho7 says I use a Windows to export stems to my iPhone and got an 8 gigabyte external, not resting around anymore. There you go. Yeah, terabyte. I figured that. Yeah, feed the cows. Feed the cows, or maybe the crows. And that's a nice segue into our feature topic for this week, which is that we are going to continue on with this. This is going to be fun. We are going to be creating some melodies. So I'm going to be workshopping some melodies, but I actually need to do a little bit of work here because I need to put together a chart for this song, which again is not going to be the most glamorous thing, but we're gonna make it fun. We're gonna write a chart, but at the same time we're going to be playing around and putting some key sounds in here at the same time. So for those that weren't here last week and now haven't caught up on it, let's play a little bit of this in the background while I set up a document over here in my OneNote, ready to go. So let's hear a little bit of this. This is a song by David Asher, and he's given me all the rights and the abilities to play around with this and to demonstrate it, and to write some melodies and to get some vocal recordings and maybe some guitar recordings and maybe some additional keys. We'll find out as we go along. So this is what it sounds like. Let's make sure our audio's working. Sounding good. And I'll jump over to my songwriting folder and start a new page called Crow's Whisper. And start putting some ideas down here. All right. All right, how's that volume coming through? Do I need to pump it a little bit? I'll just go to a section here where it's a bit louder. How's that? At my end, it sounds quiet, but it comes through pretty loudly in the stream. So if that balance is good, if we need to turn it up as we go along, let me know. Yeah, Randy, I know that the docking stations, and look, I've got external drives and things, and I probably need to do some more research into that because I can't work out. The problem is that it just keeps filling up with system files and OS files, and they all have to go on the internal drive. But yeah, I agree. I do need to explore more. I need to learn. Here's the problem. I need to hit pause. I need to stop doing so I can catch up and do like the administration and do a little bit of maintenance and stuff. But yeah, it's just hard because everything's so go that it's hard to do that. All right, So I use some pretty basic ways of tracking things here. And what I'm going to do is start putting the chords into this one. So let's hit the play button. And you can see here that we've got the first 4 bars, 1, 2, 3, 4. In fact, I think it's only 3 bars. So what we'll do is we'll track this out by what bar number it is. So we'll go over here to my OneNote. And so we start in here. We start in here with bar 1 and then goes to bar 4. So 1, there's our intro, just so that we know. So we've got an intro. And then at bar 4, here is our, well, that's sort of our lead in. We'll just call that the lead in because the intro is going to be this next section. So that's the lead in, the 3 bars, and then we've got our intro here. So let us come back. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. spelling, yeah, it is hard when you're typing in. I find you type it and then you enter and you're like, oh man. But thank you, appreciate the donation. Let's jump back over to here. So this one. So we're just going to track this out. So 1, 2, 3. And this is 4, so this is where it jumps in. And what I'm actually going to do is up here on the drums, I'm going to do some splitting. The reason I'm doing this splitting is that we can name these sections. So because GarageBand doesn't really do good section naming, we can actually name these sections. So instead of these being called crows, whispers, drum stems, we can actually call this like lead in there. And then this next section will be our intro. So this is from 4 through 5, 6, right, so that goes from 4 through to 12 is where it kind of changes up again. So at the same time as we're doing this structure here, I want to actually map out the chords here. So I'm just going to do this in a very simple way. So we've got, so it starts with the first 3 bars are going to be just a lead in. And then we have a C minor there, C minor for the first 2. And let's just go back and track this again. So, it's going to be a bit of jumping around here. So there's our C minor. And we move up to a C sharp major. And then back to a C minor. And then to a, what is that, a B flat major. Let's open up our keyboard. Let's open up our piano here so that we can see what's actually going on. And have we set this to the right key signature? We've got it in C minor there, so we should have this. So let's just go to our chords view mode. So there's our C. See, this is good. It's going to be weird here. I'm going to play it on the actual keys here, so we can actually know what we've got. So C minor. Then it moves up to a C sharp major. It's a really interesting chord progression. And then to a B flat major, or would you call that a A sharp major? Like that. Let's see. So we'll come back over here because it's a really different sort of chord progression. C sharp major, C sharp, then drops down to C minor, and then we'll call it A sharp because if it's C sharp, it's probably going to be A sharp, isn't it? A sharp, A sharp. You can tell Pete's theory knowledge is a little bit limited here. We'll jump back over to the view here. This is the really fun part of it. So there's our C minor, our C minor, our C sharp, C minor, A sharp, and then jumps back up to the C sharp for 2, which I'll just write over here. Then down to the C minor again. It's a cool chord progression, isn't it? And then to the A sharp, and then down to a G. Wow. Okay, so let's just redo this because I don't think I got that quite right. There's the A sharp. Oh, it's a G sharp and then the G. And then it hangs out on the G for like 4. And then it kicks in there at bar 24. All right, so bar 24 is where we sort of jive into the what I would call like a verse type section. All right. So that's the basic progression that we've got here. C minor, A sharp. And of course, I'm going to have to be playing on all of the black notes unless I transpose it. But I'm going to not cheat here. We're going to actually record in using the original key here, because these are all audio files that we have in the here. So we're going to go with that. So, do we want to add anything additional for the opening parts here? So here's our 3 bars. Velocity. All right, now we did fiddle about with a little guitar, and it kind of sounded flamenco-y when we did it last time around. So let's just play with this again. That's right. That's the bit that always gets me, because it goes from that minor to the major. Let's play with this, but let's do it with a different kind of instrument. Let's go to our keyboard and let's just have some fun with one of the other instruments here. What about oboe? I think this could like complement. If we have a guitar, we could have some other sort of melody. And look, this could all turn into just my voice, or this could be guitars. We don't know at this point in time. So let's just go to the start here. And we know we've got those 3. 1, 2. I'm missing the notes, aren't I? Have to correct those. And that's where we kind of kick in there for a little more. I'm going to turn that guitar off for a moment. So this is when you don't write. So yes, asking the question about collaboration, this is why I'm having so much trouble, because normally I've written the chord progression and I know what it is. And this chord progression that David's done is so cool, but it's very different to what I would normally do. So let's just play this back. Actually, we'll quantize it first of all, because that will get our note timing a little bit better. No, no, that's where it's got to change there. No, no. God bless you, MIDI. So that's kind of where I feel the natural point of vocals would come in there. So I'm thinking this is kind of a bit of a long intro to kind of get you the feel for the song. Yeah, look, David basically said I've got instrumentals if anyone wants to finish them. So I'm thinking mostly vocals, which is why we will grab a microphone now and start adding in, doing the do-do-dos and the da-da-das of the vocals, just to get a bit of a vocal line in there. Let's plug in to the audio interface into input number 1. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, which we did a little bit of last week, but yeah, so we'll just come in here. All right. Let's replicate this out with some vocals. Now, make sure our monitoring is on so we can hear ourselves. Check. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll see if I can just do some R's over the top of that to start with. Do-do-do-da-da-da. Something like that. Let's just remove that because I did a couple of different notes there. Let's just duplicate that out and come down onto this track. Ba 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 ba. I think we need a low down kind of bit. What I love about this part of the process is going back to this once you've actually sort of got everything in there, because it sounds like, you're like, oh my God, this is not going to turn into something. And then when, hopefully, it does, it's a good thing. All right, let's actually get to the verse melody. And if you've got ideas of words, because this is called Crow's Whisper, so we'll go along the crow line, I reckon. That's sort of derivative. It's kind of just following it, isn't it? What did we come up with last time? Let's go back to last week's doo-doos. That's better. Yeah, I want to go with something more like that. Dun, 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 dun. Oh. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, that note is going to get me every time, isn't it? I love it, but it's not what I would use. Dun, 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 dun. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, do. All right, so I like it. Better turn my mic back on, or you will not hear me. So I'm happier with the chorus sort of melody line there. Let's just bring this back in. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, do. Do, 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 do. The tension in that part is really, really cool, isn't it? David has done an epic job here. And then like coming in from there with the... And this is where I think we need a real grand chorus, like with lots of vocal harmonies coming in here. Let's just see what my vocal line I wrote is sounding like here. I'm just going to split it out there as well. Boop. And play it. Hello, Aaron. Thanks for being here. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. I do like that. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Yeah, and then like a second chorus, you can change it up because it kind of stays the same there. So like the second time around when we do the chorus, do, 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 do. I reckon we could change it up to something like that. In fact, let's just find that second chorus now because it builds into here. So while I've got that chorus in my head, that chorus melody, let's just record it in here. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. And then like float that off ethereally like that. Yeah, absolutely. Bold, brave, stupid, I don't know. Yeah, look, I think the reason I do this, to be honest, is that we all have to do this. And Unfortunately, sometimes on the internet, we see the polished version of people, don't we? We see the polished version of people and we see the polished version of music and videos where it's all been produced and it all looks shiny. I want to show the rough edges because everyone has rough edges. Eddie Hacks, if you're a flat nasal flat singer, only way I can sound like I want to is to do Axl Rose impression. Look, I'll pause on that for a moment. Like my singing's not going to be great in this, obviously, but where how I learnt to hit notes is to actually not amp it up. So don't 10x it, don't Axl Rose it, but like 2x it. And like you'll notice, even when I'm just doing these doo-doos and da-das, if I was just going, so if you sing inside yourself, and part of it is the confidence that you only build up over time, you don't have to do it in front of people. Like, don't be, I'm just going to turn that monitoring off for a sec. You don't have to be like me and do it in front of people. But yeah, a lot of people, where I hear them sing, if they're flat, especially flat, it means you're not really reaching and trying to hit the note. You're just kind of going conservative. And what I like to say is try and hit a note. And if you're going to miss it, you might as well miss it spectacularly because you can record it and do it again anyway. But if you're going to miss it by a lot. And then you'll learn how to get better and you'll get there. The nasal is hard because I have a nasal voice. Lots of water. Don't drink coffee like me when you're singing. Lots of water. Nothing too hot or too cold before you sing. And scooping mids is your friend. So a bit of EQ afterwards is a good thing. Yeah, and learning your words can be good, and lots of reverb and delay can work as well, and an exciter or like something that's going to bring out the top end, a little EQ bump at the top can actually help you out. Maybe if we get to the point where we got some words in this one, we're going a bit long by the way. We're going to do an hour on this show just to try and get a bit of a melody line down for this. All right, so let's go back. So here's our verse. Man, I hate being in sharp keys. Like that. Something like that for like a harmony part that goes over that chorus. Should we try and let's stick. We'll just try and record out like what I think the vague melody for this second verse should be. Feel pretty similar to the first, I reckon. Oh, we don't have the thing on. We're recording on some other track somewhere else. Let's just play this back. You wouldn't guess it, but we've got the warning from the Mac that says we're going to have to probably going to have to make this a bit of a shorter show because we had this problem yesterday. So we may have to hit pause and resume this the next time around while I work out. So yeah, Mark, if you've got ideas about how to do that, because literally had 15 gigabytes free before I started this show, and now it's down to 0. So something's happening. I've got some setting somewhere, and I know Chrome is an absolute memory hog, but yeah. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, well, that's what I need to do. We did lose me. I'm back now though, and I'm just going to hang out for a moment here because I think it is actually a Chrome issue because it keeps popping up with Chrome things, and it's only when I move into Chrome. So I'm going to try Firefox and do a bit of testing behind the scenes, but we are going to move. We are going to move away for today while Johns goes into, yeah, I think it is. I think it's killing my memory because it is. I got a new version of Chrome that I installed, and these problems have only been happening since I did that. So it may be a Chrome issue. It's definitely just filling up my system items with a bunch of stuff. So I need to do that. Yes, April Fool, all went away. Let's see if I can come back in. Yeah, there is. So I deleted all the apps. I deleted anything in documents. I deleted like gigabytes of videos and audio files I didn't need, but it just keeps refilling it with system files. So what can you do, hey? And again, look, it's technology, isn't it? It's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. So I'm going to finish up here. What I will do though is I'm going to be doing some testing and stuff through the day. So I'll be probably doing some live streams. If you're a patron, you can check some of those out. I might get you to jump in if you're around to help me test out a few things. And if you've got any ideas, then please do let me know. Yeah, look, it'll get worked out. If I have to just restore the whole Mac to fresh, well, then I'll do that because I've had this for, 3 years now. So I'm thinking I might do that. Yeah, clearing caches, I'll do it. It's the fun stuff that you don't ever want to do, but yeah. If you're wondering, I am actually going to upgrade because I am running on a very low-end machine. I'm just waiting for Apple to release the M3. As soon as we've got the M3 out there for the Mac Mini or the Mac Studio, I'm buying one. But I know that if I buy one now with an M2, the M3 is going to come out immediately, and it's going to annoy me. So I'm just waiting for some additional stuff. So thank you. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for hanging out with me this weekend. Happy hour went fine. No problems at all there. So that streamed perfectly. It's only been, Your Music Live and GarageBand Weekly that have caused me a few little challenges. So I'm going offline now to go in to do some fun time research about how to do this. Let's just take a final listen. I'm liking where this is coming along. I'm liking especially the chorus, and we will continue working on this. Maybe I'll come back and do it a bit later. Do 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 do. Yeah, so I need to start working on words and things. We'll reconvene next week once I've got everything sorted out with the hardware, and it'll no doubt be a little more successful. But I'm off to work out what the heck is in my system files and why they keep filling with more and more data that I don't ask it to. Thanks everyone for being here. What do we say at the end of every show? Please be kind to yourself. Be kind to your computers. Don't throw them out the window. Be kind to others and keep creating. And I'll see you next time here on GarageBand Weekly.